maybe onto the top 14 then. There were. Where do we want to start? Maybe get out the
Should we
way.
start with Montauban?
Yeah, not
Well,
not the greatest day for Montauban in the Auvergne.
Brosdale scored his first top 14 try.
I
He
did.
uh,
I didn't
he
realize that.
ran in an intercept from inside his own half.
Love it. Proper stuff.
Um, yeah, it was quite a good read, and there was no one near him, and he had plenty to spare. Um, a lone bright spot in. Well, they scored quite a lot of tries. Fafita was good. Um, he scored a really cool try with linking up with VC, which I assume won't be the last time this season. But don't know, watching the highlights is kind of hard to gauge kind of where it went wrong. But when a team scores 84 points,
Yeah,
as Clermont Auvergne did, which I think might be a record of some sort.
yeah.
Bearing in mind, like Bordeaux the other week when they pasted Montauban, that was like the fifth highest tries in a top 14 game. So I assume that was right up there. I haven't seen any of the official stats,
I saw
but
somewhere that every starting backline player for Clermont scored a try, which must be some sort of record.
that's quite cool. Um, on the commentary, it was like they kept saying towards the end of like the last three tries, it's like, oh, they join the fate or join the festival, um, which is like fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah,
Look,
yeah,
like
tough
Massa
one.
had a good game. Regis Montagna had a good game. It seemed like they all had a good game.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
One to forget for Montauban.
worryingly, that is now in three away games. They've conceded a lot of points, nearly
Yeah,
200
they did.
points in three away games.
They
Because
rotated a bit in this one, right?
yeah, it was a kind of rotated front five, I think. Rotated pack a little bit, but I mean, Clermont probably not the side you want to rotate your pack against. But yeah,
Not ideal.
interesting to see where they go from there.
Yeah, r remarkably, there is a side faring slightly worse, and it's been yeah, it's not been good down at the Emi Giral. Stade Francais pretty comfortable winners over Perpignan. Their fifth defeat, their third defeat at home. So to chalk that up against Bayonne and Racing as well, which is remarkable, really. I don't know what the stats are, but I imagine the last time they lost three on the spin at
Yeah,
home, even with kind of where they've struggled a little bit at times in the last 4 or 5 seasons, yeah, it's a remarkable turnaround. Not least because we thought actually maybe going into this season, Perpignan were in quite good straits with a few signings. Um, there's been a bit of a backlash. One there was, I don't know if you saw the sort of ironic cheers for Stade Francais as they came off at half time. The
no.
Perpignan fans sort of applauding the away team off, which was pretty brutal. And then yeah, there's been change in the staff as well. So David Marty, who was I think head coach under um Azem as the direct DOR, is
Yeah,
that the
Frank
distinction?
Azema, yeah.
So David Marty's gone, and Gerald Bastide, the forwards coach, has also been let go as well. Um, I did see I mean, it's very kind of speculative stuff, but I did see someone linking, is it Huber from who's been at the centre of all the carnage at Grenoble in the last week as well, being
Yeah.
linked with a shift over to Perpignan, but maybe that's just a convenient story given what's going on there. But Stade
Yeah,
Francais, I
it's a
don't know when the
little
last
bit of
time,
like a it's a
bit of a
little bit of kind of
melodrama, isn't it?
like they kind of fell on their sword, but also kind of got pushed
Yeah.
at their confirmed request was the official wording. The staff, in a spirit of responsibility and to create an electroshock in the locker room, propose a change in the sporting organisation. Um,
Sounds like when another, I don't know, ex-Soviet agent's fallen out, just happened to
yeah,
fall out a window. It's
and
like one of those.
unfortunately, yeah. Uh, Thank you to James Harrington, the excellent journalist on Blue Sky, who helped with that kind of translation. Basically, I couldn't be bothered to read it and asked, and was like, James, what happened here? Uh, but because I was wondering whether I wondered if it was kind of perhaps also just a bit cheaper to get rid of them as opposed to Frank Azema. I think Frank Azema, James
Maybe.
confirmed, is there until 2028. So, and like, is
Really?
also quite a
Wow.
well-respected like coach. There
Yeah.
have been positive times at yeah, Azema's deal. They were to the end of the season, and Azema's deal runs to 2028. So maybe that is
The severance package is
yeah, maybe
slightly
that was
more
the while they
appetizing.
yeah. It's like, could you guys please hand in your resignation so that we can pay you off and not him because it'd be cheaper for us. Um,
Fantastic.
yeah, they are in a bit of strife though.
They are. They are. Yeah, not great. One thing there were two things that I did see in the top 14 over the weekend that I was not, without sounding too old school about it, a little bit unappetizing. One of them was in this game, and it was Thierry Fiver with a fairly outrageous dive simulation, which got oh God, what's the not Berrier, the loose head at
Bruce
Perpignan,
DeVere
Bruce DeVere, who
again.
did.
He nailed Nolan Lagarek last year, didn't he? When
Oh,
Lagarek dropped to
was
the
that the
deck. Yeah,
same?
same bloke.
Maybe he's just got like a
Maybe he's
force field.
absolutely nails. Like, yeah.
Well, he does lick nails, and he did go into a ruck a bit recklessly and got yellow carded, which was probably fair enough. But Fiverr, it's a shocker, like it's a real bad one. And yeah,
But it earns DeVere a yellow card, sir.
yeah, it's
Oh, I'm gonna have
shit.
to try and I haven't seen any of that game. I'm gonna have to
It's a
go back and look.
shocker. It's a really bad one. And in the Lyon UBB game, I would say Damien Penaud covered himself in glory either with a he sort of his was maybe a little bit less egregious, but he's definitely after the fact gone down holding his face and then sort of yeah, I can't remember who it was for Leon who caught him, but it was yeah, a little bit unedifying, it must be said.
I was thinking watching the highlights of the Bordeaux game because he cocks up, doesn't he, for one of the tries as well. It's like he's blooming lucky Teo Atazogbe got injured. I think he could be
Possibly,
out the
yeah.
door quite quickly in the France jersey, which is mad given he's a record try scorer. But I do think he is on. How old is he? He's still quite young, isn't he?
29, something like that.
Yeah, I do think he won't. I think there's just so much talent coming up that he might be out the door sooner than perhaps people think.
Maybe, yeah. I think he'll probably get the autumn internationals, won't he, as you say, with Solbay injured. And
Yeah,
it's not like
and Villiers injured.
he hasn't got a body of work behind him that's fairly
Yeah.
fairly useful. But yeah,
Tell you what, I
he's
can't wait for this squad to come out. I've got knives out for so many knives are out for so many established names in this France squad, mate. I'm ready.
um, yeah, Bordeaux actually not a game we thought was going to be very comfortable. They got off to an absolute flyer, but
Yeah.
wasn't. Lyon were pretty impressive actually. Esteban Gonzalez first start at nine in the top 14, scored
He looks
two
rapid.
fantastic tries.
Yeah.
And generally, yeah, Lyon were pretty good value to stay in it, and were it not for the wine and Golo yellow in the last 10 minutes, which kind of opened it up and allowed Bordeaux to get away, it might have been a bit tighter. So yeah, good
Seemed a bit
signs for
harsh, that
them.
yellow. I
Yeah,
know
I
it's like
thought so.
it's one of the more obvious hands in the ruck you'll see, but it seemed quite harsh.
Yeah, it wasn't like a repeated infringements kind of. It felt like a bit of a. It felt more of a last warning yellow to me, that one, rather
Yeah.
than a
Okay.
you got to go to the bin. But yeah, a lot of fun under and Weinigolo was also again up to his old tricks, like running it out from under his own sticks and stuff. He's great value as ever.
Is he still top of the freakish Fijian index?
I think at the moment, yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, VC needs a little bit more game time. Um, Although he did score an absolute worldie of a try was Benaya Hambosi in Racing's
Ah.
last gasp loss to Cast, which, as I think we were discussing as a Cast fan, feels like a pretty important win that because losing two from three at home, this I would say very
Yeah.
uncast like I imagine would go down slightly unacceptable, and it turns. I'd say that Abraham Papali'i in the 83rd minute, I think it was, going over the line. That's after the try to bring them within three was a charge down from a goal line
The
restart.
Carbonell own try.
Yeah, which was quite something as well. But yeah, I think they'll be pretty happy to have scrapped it out. But the Hambosi try in what looked like pretty filthy conditions, as
Yeah.
it often is at Cast, is yeah, a real gem if you haven't
Cast's
seen it.
got like some sort of microclimate because it seems to, whenever it's like the worst weather, it always seems to be in Cast.
Yeah, yeah, it does seem to look pretty gloomy there.
Um, just on the Bordeaux game, Deporter looked really good.
Yes, yeah, he was
Played really well.
amazing.
I mean, Bielbarré's pace is just like the first try he scores. Deporter's like breaking out, and then it's almost like he's on a. It's like when you're in the airport and someone's walking through the middle bit, and someone's on the travellator.
Yeah,
Like it's genuinely like that, and Deporter's like charging out, and yet Bielbarré is just cruising up alongside him.
yeah,
Um, and Sam Simmons, I mean, bit of a mixed bag of a game. I think he missed the tackle on Deporter for that try, but or allowed him to step inside. But as you tweeted, just a word on the effort to try and get back for that try.
yeah.
Still absolutely rapid, Sam
He's
Simmons.
still quick. He actually the bar that he actually he had quite a good first half actually.
Yeah,
They seem to certainly defensively, like over the ball and stuff. But yeah,
also,
Leon going
Makoro just
okay.
looks like
Oh
Makoro
my
looks a lot of
God.
fun to watch.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, another bust up feel like 50-meter break
yeah, he
upfield.
did something else as well that was really cool. I was like, this guy's great.
Yeah, he's cool.
Um, I don't, yeah, still a few queries on his scrummaging, although I think Leon did all right up front.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did.
We mentioned a bit of an own try in the Racing game. There was an own try chalked off at the mile where there was a throw over the top from a line out on halfway, and Facundo Isa picked up the ball off the back of the line, like overthrown, like beat the Toulon player to the ball that went over the back, and they were called back for not being 10 meters. But
Okay.
so basically, like picked it up, offloaded it, and like I think it was Desperez like ran in. Just like basically, it looked like a really nicely worked line out move if Poe had thrown the ball in, but they were done for being within 10 meters. Um, Poe basically didn't really show anything until the last 10 minutes in this game, which the one player that was good for Poe, perhaps unsurprisingly, off the bench. Poor old Carwin Pelotu basically first carry of the game gets sin-binned for an elbow to the throat, like on the handoff, and also in doing that, like does his shoulder in.
I saw he was
Um,
in a sling. Yeah.
yeah, but Facundo Isa came off and replaced him. So Facundo Isa back at the mile was quite comfortably Poe's best player in a starting 15. That is, I genuinely think that is a legit second 15. I don't think there's a single player in that starting 15 for Poe that would now be a first choice player, which I think actually says more about how far they've come because guys
I'd agree with that.
like Lucas Ray and Sacha Zegur and Loic Credos and Tumu Manu and Nathan Decron, like these, there are guys there that were quite key players last season that are now second choice, like legit second choice. Tumu Manu got a quite harsh yellow. I do think that it wouldn't have changed the result at all, but I think Poe did not get the rub of the green with the ref, like the chalked off try, like the Manu, like the guy's dipping, and it's like such clear mitigation. He gets a yellow card for clotheslining him. But he was really good once he moved to centre, kind of the last 15, 20 minutes. For Toulon, though, let's talk about them rather than Poe. Toulon with a better team. They were a stronger side. Priso at tight head seems like an absolute
Yeah.
revelation and could be the answer for France, I think. His penalty count was terrible. I think Toulon were not tidy at the breakdown, but also he won his own penalties. Like he was probably net zero in terms of penalty count. Um, Ribbons was absolutely amazing. Couple of like signature ribeye charging runs. Um, yeah, And Serran set up a wonderful try in the first half, like a little dink through sort of thing that only really Serran
He
does.
it's
He just does stuff.
the consistency that he does game breaking things is ridiculous. Like he's
It
like a
wasn't like freakish. It was just like, oh, of course he's done that.
but he
Like,
like
you know,
creates
it's
a
just not
try
surprising. Yeah.
pretty much every game he plays. Like he's
Yeah.
such a phenomenal player.
Yeah. Abadi was actually quite good in this game as well.
Very
Having
nice.
given him a bit of ribbing last week. Um, and Nonu scored. Nonu was a pretty good
Yeah. It's so
extending
cool.
his own record for oldest
Just
try scorer in the league.
it's just incredible. Amazing
But that
stuff
was a
from
pretty comfortable win for Toulon. They did get the bonus point. Po were very limited.
yeah.
They didn't really play any rugby.
Um
Toulon just battered them up
did
front.
did you catch any of so the first game of the weekend, Montpellier La Rochelle?
Yes.
I saw decent patches of it, and I mean, they were at Montpellier playing some pretty good rugby this year and looked really good in patches. I could not believe how poor La Rochelle were.
Yeah, talking of teams that didn't really do much or show anything, like
Oh my
similar to
word.
Po, they barely strung any phase together. I think what it was though, I don't necessarily think La Rochelle were terrible. I thought Montpellier's defense was amazing. I thought they were amazing at the breakdown.
Hmm.
And so like La Rochelle never really got any territory or possession, really. They didn't really do much.
Yeah, just
It's
thought
kind of
some of
like the La Rochelle.
their real basics were just so for a side. I don't know. I agree with you. Montpellier were the superior team. From as I said, I didn't see like all of it wall to wall, but I think going into it, I felt that La Rochelle with kind of like Le Garrec at the four had turned a bit of a corner from last year when they were so sticky, and when they did get the ball, it felt I don't know just a bit clumsy and a bit
Yeah,
laboured and
like
like a
zero shape.
like a
Like,
poorly coached side,
yeah.
basically.
Um,
Yeah.
but I do think Montpellier were excellent.
Mm.
Um, I think like excellent at scrum, excellent at breakdown, and I'm trying to think who really impressed me. A guy that impressed me, unfortunately, who had a really good game, and he has been probably the best tight head in the league so far, is a criminal, Wilfred Hunkpatan. Um, he's been Adoshio's been really good, I would
Mm.
say, and I think Ulysses is also
Yeah.
a top quality player. Miotti, I think, seems to be going really well at, at, at 10. That seems to be working with him and Ali Price. Although Bernaday off the bench, a young lad, he's scored a couple of tries now in the last couple of weeks. He looks good. The standout player for Montpellier or in this game, Lenny Nucci, who,
Just
you know,
getting better and better.
if you consider him up against like the back row he's up against, and when I was talking about knives out for French internationals, you can't tell me that Nucci is not in better form than Greg Alldritt. Like, well,
Yeah.
there's quite a lot of players in better form than Greg Alldritt that are young back rowers, but like, you know, when you're doing all of the aggressive Lenny Nucci stuff and then you're doing a grubber off your left foot to set up a try,
Yeah. Yeah.
like
He's
he's
phenomenal, isn't he?
he's like he's one of their best players every week, which is yeah. I thought I thought Masabaka off the bench was good. Like saw bits of like the kind of explosive stuff off the base, which was really cool to see. Guy that we love, Rich. Um, yeah, yeah. La Rochelle really didn't show much, did they? Vunivalu had his best game for the try he scored was kind of what you'd expect from him when he moved from rugby league, and he's basically shown
Mm.
very little of that in Union. Um,
Yeah, that was
but
cool.
but yeah, takes it under the high ball, beats a few
Just
players for pace and power.
yeah, it
Quite
was
cool.
awesome.
Bumps himself up the freakish Fijian index.
Yeah, gets him in there.
Yeah, gets him in
Arguably,
there.
gets him in there. Yeah, impressive from Montpellier. Decent crowds as well. They're enjoying their little run in the sun at the moment down
Maybe
there.
it's the rebrand. Maybe people love.
Yes.
Maybe the people of Montpellier don't like local property company GGL, and they absolutely love software company Septio. Maybe that's what it is.
It's as
Maybe it's the
simple as
rebrand of the
that.
stadium. Yeah.
It's as simple as that. Um, nice. And then to round it out, the Sunday night game, Bayonne
Game of the
Toulouse.
weekend looks of
Yeah, I
things,
think so. I think
which
it
we kind
probably
of thought
was.
it would be.
Um, just yeah, fantastic. Both really aggressive, pacey game of rugby. Um, like some of Toulouse's young guys, Teo Ntamack, your man Bertrand, um, Manu Tuolangi, Esteban Kapir at the fore for Bayonne were both sensational. Actually, I don't know if you've seen the Manu Tuolangi hit
Yeah, it's
on
brilliant.
Ntamack.
The one that he
It's
gets yellow carded for not being
for
10.
not being 10, yeah. And
It absolutely melts
it's
him, and it's like, oh, that could be red.
it's like I saw a couple of the French journalists like the slightly more light-hearted ones, just like that. Like I think it said he's literally murdered him or something like that. It was so good. Um, and there's an amazing if anyone follows EK Rugby Analysis on X, there's a brilliant thing we retweeted, which is basically the French TV directors view on it, which was
Sequencing, yeah.
yellow card, Tuolangi looking aghast, small child looks like he's questioning the meaning of life. It's so well done. But yeah, amazing sort of first. Well, the whole game was fantastic, and it felt like in the back end of the second half, Toulouse to me felt like they were just edging ahead, had
Yeah.
sort of dominance at the scrum. Um, and Tomo Ramos, about 66 minutes, give or take, hits the post with one that you would expect him to score, which would have taken them 8 points clear, I think. And there felt like a little bit of an inevitability about it. But Bayonne scored three. I mean, one of them sort of last play and there's a bit of a bouncing
Yeah.
ball, but three fantastic tries with Joris Sigons, who we spoke last week about, obviously his amazing kicking game, which is very much his sort of USP. But Joris Sigons at the fore with some absolute worldy distribution. One to put, oh god, I
Urban
can't.
Arts Garai.
Urban Arts Gray, I'm going to absolutely butcher that through the gap for
Irby, they call
Kapir.
him.
Do they? Okay,
Yeah.
it's that sort of that sort of setup. Um,
Oh, I think it's
and
more because I've only ever seen it on like threads or Twitter, and Urban Arts Garai is too many characters, so they just go Irby.
nice. I think yeah, it's Arno, isn't it? I think I'd always
Yeah.
assume maybe Urban was his name, and then it's Artigarai. But and then the sort of almost Finn Russell at Scotland,
Yeah.
England, 2018, whenever it was, floats it over Deleve to put Tiberian in. Just fantastic, like
It's a great
amazing the
finish from
way
Tiberian.
it was a brilliant finish. Amazing the way they turned it on, given they had been under a lot of pressure. And in the end, Toulouse end up conceding 40-42, whatever it was, which is
Yeah.
incredible.
Quite Bordeaux-y, that little
Yeah,
last flourish of like tries. I've got a few questions. You saw more of this game than I did. Looked like Teo Ntamack had another good game.
very
Should he
good.
be in the France squad,
Uh,
or is he just a good
I
player in
think
Toulouse?
could he be in the France squad? Yes, I think Kapir, Nucci, a few others
Should
ahead.
Kapir? That was my next question. Should Kapir be ahead of him?
I think in that, yes, I think in that pecking order based on what I've seen this season.
Should Joris Sagons, or how did Ntamack go at 10? And should Joris Sagons be? Where should he be?
Ntamack was decent.
Set up a lovely little chip kick for LaBelle, didn't
Well,
he?
I do wonder if I feel like Sagon's probably is he nestling into that kind of third fly half ahead of
Third slash fourth.
yeah, with depending on what you can do with Ramos. Yeah, I think it's wider squad. Yes,
Georges Henri Colomb, how did he go? Scored a try.
excellent. I thought he was brilliant when he came on. Yeah, busy, a little bit unlucky not to win a couple of turnovers where I thought he was in pretty good position, scrummaged pretty well. still swear in a few years' time we'll ever wonder how he was dropped when he's tearing up trees for France.
Yeah.
Stand by that.
And the answer to this question is yes. Is should Arthur Aturia be starting lock for France?
Yes, always.
Yeah, yeah, cool.
They also had, I think it was Perry Freshwater was on
Yes, yeah,
comms.
yeah, yeah.
And they said, "Oh, Colom, because I mean, Colom's a big boy, isn't he?" And then Robbie Knox was 145 kgs. I think Freshwater said that's without the VAT, which coming from one prop to another, I quite enjoyed as well. But
Yeah.
yeah, awesome game.